Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Hopefully you're having a great week so far. And as always, a quick shout out to my newest patrons, Les, John, Andrew, E, and Mark. Thank you guys very much. Greatly appreciate the support. First up today, let's rewind the clocks exactly 13 years to November 3rd, 2008, when Tesla's board had approved a $40 million convertible debt financing round. This was in a move to bolster its cash balance at the time that was only $9 million. And in case you're not familiar, convertible debt financing basically just gives optionality to investors when lending money to a company. So for example, if you were to lend Tesla $50,000, they issue you a convertible note or a convertible bond. Maybe it's, 5 years. They're typically shorter term in duration. After that 5 years, you can have Tesla pay you back the amount of the loan, or you could convert that loan essentially into shares in the company, typically with some sort of discount, maybe 10%. So rather than getting paid back $50,000, you might be able to turn that into $55,000 in Tesla stock. And yes, it's oftentimes more complicated than that, but for the purposes of this topic, that should be sufficient. And I have to share the last line of this article. Listen to this. Remember, this is from 2008. Tesla. It faces intense competition from established automakers like GM and Nissan. So while today, yes, Tesla is a story of success and domination, let us not forget at one time Tesla was on the brink of bankruptcy and many people, many leaders would have given up. And for some reason, I saw this picture years back and I think about it all the time. So whatever you're pursuing, if it's career-wise, maybe it's fitness-related or relationships, don't be the guy on the bottom that gives up when you might be so close to that breakthrough. Next up, London is making a push when it comes to Uber and Tesla. Uber and Tesla in the news a lot lately, but as you can see from Wednesday, Tesla cars will be available to Uber drivers in London looking to buy or lease a green vehicle as part of an incentive scheme to boost electric car use. Since Uber has introduced a clean air fee, which adds 3 pence or 4 cents to every mile of a passenger trip in London, more than £135 million, which is about $185 million, has been collected for drivers to use toward environmentally friendly models at discounted rates with partners like Nissan and Kia. Now Tesla will be added to that list. And over 4,000 Uber drivers have switched to EVs in London. Next up, we have a quick note from JP Morgan, where ordinarily I wouldn't care what they say, as historically they've been very anti-Tesla, very biased, and not providing a lot of value. But this one is a lot more straightforward. The key here, institutional investors made up the vast majority of the recent surge of Tesla stock price action. Net buying totaled $4.5 billion from institutional investors, far more than the $544 million influx from the retail market. And the strong buying from institutions could be due to momentum portfolio rebalancing, something we have mentioned a few times over the past few weeks. And I thought this was really important to share because lately I've seen so much online, people talking about the recent Tesla stock price is due to FOMO, the retail market, the herd steal, the Wall Street bets community, and basically this retail conglomerate moving the Tesla stock price, when in reality, in my opinion, there's no way that the retail market can move a $1 trillion company that much. Next up, we have a filing with the city of Fremont. So here we have Tesla project info, a factory solar install of 0.435 megawatts of DC solar on building 8 at the Fremont factory. So yes, this is a small solar panel project, but it's part of a bigger story. If we go back to the impact report from earlier this year, we'll remember this. Giga Nevada was designed to be covered with solar panels. To date, we've installed solar panels with the capacity of 3,200 kilowatts. This installation will grow to 24,000, a rough 8x, to cover the whole roof of the current building structure by the end of next year, which would be the end of 2022. This would make it the largest rooftop solar installation in the US. And Tesla continued, we are installing solar panels at other locations too, such as our Fremont factory. Next up, we get some new features for Tesla via a software update. The first one, we have integration with the streaming platform TIDAL. Now available in the media menu with a TIDAL account, you can listen to playlists or albums in HQ audio by connecting to Wi-Fi and pressing download on the selected content. We get cold weather improvements. You can now enable front defrost and maintain your climate settings when clearing ice and snow. As usual, tap the fan icon and select keep climate on when parked. Additionally, when using climate controls in the Tesla app, Automatic battery preconditioning has been optimized to consume less energy. Now we get active road noise reduction. Your vehicle now has the ability to actively reduce low frequency road noise while driving on rough surfaces. To accomplish this, the system uses seat microphones to measure the noise in the cabin, then generates anti-noise through the speakers to create quiet zones around the occupants. And you can now receive an audible alert, a chime, when traffic-aware cruise control is enabled. And you can now add British English as an official language. And real quick, while TIDAL might not be a household name yet, it is more of a cultural phenomenon in the rap and hip-hop community, but there is definitely potential here, as Jack Dorsey Square did buy an ownership stake in the company earlier this year. This through a new joint venture, with the original artist becoming the second largest group of shareholders, and Jay-Z is joining the board of Square. Why would a music streaming company and a financial services company join forces? He then goes on to explain it. The only thing I want to highlight is TIDAL started with the idea of honoring artists and being artist owned and led, focus on an uncompromised experience of the art. It's refreshing and right. The vision only grows stronger as it's matched with more powerful tools for artists, inclusive of new ways of getting paid. Moving on, Tesla received a $54 million order for an energy storage system, once again from Nofar Energy. Yes, this is a smaller deal, but there are two important reasons why I want to highlight this. So first, these battery storage systems will be provided between January 23 and March 24. Now, if this isn't just the specifics of this one deal, and this is more of an insight into the order backlog for Tesla Energy, that would mean, as we've heard many times, that basically through 2022, Tesla Energy is sold out, meaning that all new orders placed today for utility scale energy storage from Tesla won't actually be delivered sometime until 2023. And this is the second agreement between Nofar and Tesla. They noted that most of the energy storage systems from the 100 megawatt hour agreement signed in February of this year are already in the process of being set up or about to be. And just recently, Nofar completed the construction and connection of Israel's first Tesla storage facility at Kibbutz Shoval. The facility will be launched next week during a ceremony attended by Tesla execs as well as representatives from the Ministry of Energy and the Electric Authority. A quick note here from Alex on Germany, October new vehicle registrations year over year. All other vehicles down 34%. Tesla up 482%. Yes, just 1 month, but still. You love to see it. Honestly, one of the biggest stories today that will probably bore some of you that aren't into the financial or economic space. However, it's very important as it does have a direct impact on the markets and the economy as a whole. Today we have the Fed's meeting minutes coming out around 2 p.m. But these two ladies do an excellent job of giving us some context, so have a quick listen.
So, tapering. I think maybe both you ladies have similar feelings that the market is, would you say, looking past this already, Gabriella?
Completely looking past it. And I think it's a testament to how well Chair Powell and the Fed have prepared investors for this tapering announcement tomorrow. So we expect it to be a snooze, and really the attention is completely on rates and on liftoff. And we've seen such a big move on the short end of the curve. There's been a huge pull forward for the first rate hike. Expectations that it could be as soon as June 2022, and that we can get more than 2 rate hikes next year. We think this is completely overdone. This is a Fed that is reactive, not proactive to inflation, and one that's very much focused on the employment side of the mandate and a more inclusive, broader concept of full employment. So we think this curve flattening has gone way too far. Short end yields need to come down. The long end should steepen gradually as tapering actually occurs. And perhaps Chair Powell will start to push back against some of this mispricing tomorrow during the press conference.
I mean, no wonder stocks are going up.
I mean, that is true. You do have this really favorable backdrop, but I do think that there are competing forces at play. On the one hand, demand is super hot. People are ready to spend. Inflation is stickier than many of us expected. But at the same time, it does seem like growth is cooling somewhat. And kind of this peak growth period is behind us. And then Americans haven't gone back to work at the pace many of us expected. So there are kind of these competing forces at play. And I think all eyes will be on that at this Fed meeting, especially how the Fed is reacting to stickier than expected inflation.
And I won't go into any detail here, but just so you guys are familiar, the Fed has basically been buying $120 billion in monthly asset purchases, and now inflation is at a 3-decade high. Yes, the numbers can be debated, and there's people all over the map when it comes to what's really going on. Just know it's an incredibly complex topic, but at the very least, it's something to be aware of. So tapering is expected. Pay attention to the market hike announcement and the new employment situation, how the Fed plans to handle that going forward. Next up, Volkswagen is debuting the ID.5, which, yes, looks a lot like the ID.4, but of course there are some differences. Sadly, there are no plans to bring this to the United States as of now. And if you want to learn more, here is a brand new video of these new vehicles, link below if you want to check it out. And next up today, we have to talk about Tesla Canada. So many people forget that Tesla has operations in Canada. They wonder, are there factories there? What's going on? Well, finally, we get some new behind the scenes footage of Tesla Canada, what they're working on. Pretty cool video. I will share it in a minute. But first, I want to give us a quick refresher on what's going on with Tesla Canada. So first, we can't forget about Jeff Dahn and the battery research team. Just earlier this year in January, Dalhousie University announced they have extended their contract with Tesla for the Advanced Battery Research Group to 2026, and they announced 2 new chairs. And they confirmed that they will be working with Dahn, who commented on the new appointments. I'm so pleased to welcome Chongying Yang and Michael Metzger to Dalhousie University assistant professors and shareholders. Both are outstanding scientists and charismatic leaders. Our goal is to continue to help Tesla develop better advanced batteries for its products. Dr. Yang and Dr. Metzger bring new ideas, new methods, and new expertise, as well as full commitment to electric transportation and renewable energy to the partnership. And 2, we have to remember Tesla's acquisition of the Canadian company Hibar. And luckily enough, some channel named Electrified did a deep dive on this topic, so let's have a brief listen. In October of 2019, in lobbyist registration documents filed with the government of Ontario, Tesla said its first objective was to, quote, provide input and make recommendations to the government and its agencies regarding policies, programs, regulations, and decisions that impact the demand for the adoption of solar energy, battery energy storage, and related infrastructure. Enter Hibar Systems. Founded in 1974, Hibar has been a privately owned, Canadian-based company in Richmond Hill, Ontario. Their primary focus has been on the design, development, and manufacturing of precision dispensing pumps for industrial, automated, liquid dispensing applications. They're a leader in the precision making of small cell batteries through a highly automated pump injection system. They integrate their pumps into filling systems and manufacture turnkey battery systems for their customers. They've also established subsidiary operations in China, the US, and Germany. And what you've been waiting for, here is that brand new Tesla Canada recruiting video.
My name is Hongyang, and my role here is focusing on the cathode precursor development. We are exploring a bunch of different optimal conditions to make our production environmentally friendly and also very efficient. It's everything about the battery. So definitely from this end all the way to the customer end, there is a big impact.
My name is Anya. I work for the charging infrastructure team for Tesla Canada, and we build the supercharger network across the country. Last year, we completed the Trans-Canada Highway supercharger line, going from Vancouver, BC, all the way across to Nova Scotia and soon to be PEI. We based it off of convenience and also getting a supercharger in every province. The growth I've seen in Tesla Canada from 4 years ago has been both a growth in the mission as well as the people. Our teams have grown and we've opened more delivery centers, which is a great center for sales, delivery, service, and also hosting superchargers.
My name is Tung, and I'm a mechanical designer at Tesla Toronto. The primary task of my job is factory layout design, basically the floor plans of all the equipment. The factory space is very precious, so we try to optimize the flow. We work closely with each equipment within the cell assembly line. Nobody here is afraid of challenges. I think one thing I learned here, there's always a way. Something seems impossible at the beginning, there's always a way to work it out. Just overcoming obstacles, becoming like a routine.
My name is Zeniab and I'm CNC lead machinist. My job is to take care of the people on the shop floor and making sure the production is running well. So right now we are making feeder screws. This is part of the battery line. I program the machine and make sure it's operating well. My experience has been great with Tesla. I really like to work here. Very excited to be part of the battery project because I think going to accelerate transition for a better life and for clean energy. It's a dream coming true.
So shout out to the Tesla Canada team. And last thing for today, real quick, I just wanted to ask, have you guys seen this new zip charge thing? Apparently this was introduced at the COP26 Global Summit. It's a portable charger for EVs, but listen to this. It weighs 50 pounds, which if you've ever picked up a 50-pound dumbbell, it's not exactly light. I'm not sure if everybody would be able to pick this thing up and put it in your car or if you would want to, but it has a 4 kilowatt hour net capacity battery and can charge an EV at 7.2 kilowatts. In about 30 minutes, the 4 kilowatt hour version can add around 12 to 20 miles of range depending on how efficient your EV. These have nickel manganese cobalt battery cells, NMC, and the Go utilizes a bi-directional AC-DC inverter, enabling two-way charging from the grid to the unit and from the unit to the grid. My first thought, other than is this actually portable and something that people can lift up, is then the safety and security. If you're at work or somewhere and you just have this sitting there, how easy is it for someone just to come steal it and take it? I'm assuming it would have a lock feature, but what do you guys think? Is this something that could be a significant part of the EV movement, or is this more of a marketing gimmick? Let me know. Either way, that's all for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.